All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back. Welcome back to All Boxing and Everything. Make sure y'all subscribe. All right, y'all. So, yeah, I need to stay posted on boxing. I've been watching a lot of these fights, but look, I just need to come over here and make some more videos, which I'm going to be doing more of. That's why I just want to go back and talk about Gennady Golovkin versus Ryota Murata a little bit. First off, I have to say, look, shout out to Golovkin. I got to say shout out to the old school, the old heads, the fighters that are closer to my age range because, I got to say, look, Golovkin, he's staying committed. He's staying sharp. He's still showing these young guys a thing or two. And I never really been a big Golovkin fan, but I was impressed with what he was able to do in there and, just go in there and still hang in there with the big dogs. Because, Murata, he may not be the best contender. He's definitely not Andrade or like the fights I want to see like Charlo or anything like that with Golovkin. But he hung in there. He definitely gave Golovkin a nice rough start. But Golovkin just showed his level. He showed that his level is still higher than Murata. Maybe not be the same Golovkin. I can definitely see the age there, but I definitely seen him kind of like reach into the bag and dig deep. You definitely saw Golovkin have to dig deep in this Murata fight. You could definitely see his age. I mean, first round, I gave to Murata. I thought he outlanded Golovkin, but you could still see Golovkin landing those hard jabs. He was landing some nice hard jabs, and he started to split the guard with his right uppercut a little bit. He was landing those hard jabs and hard right hands. Now, early on, if you got a thick skull and a good chin from Murata, you can withstand those type of shots, right? Because it's the first round, you still fresh. But something told me, like, look, Murata, he's winning these rounds, or he's at least kind of like outworking Golovkin, but he's taking too much punishment here. He's taking too many hits. And Golovkin's shotgun jab consistently, if he lands that consistently, minute after minute, and we're not talking about just like a regular jab. Golovkin's jab is like stronger than stronger than the right hand, right? It's stronger than the right hand. So the more and more Murata kept taking these shots, I was like, they're going to add up. They're definitely going to add up. Now, he won the first round, I'd say 2-3-4. 2-3-4, they were kind of some back and forth action. You could definitely see Murata landing some good shots, getting in there, doing some good things as far as, landing some good body shots, his own left hook, his right hand around the guard of Golovkin. So he definitely figured out a good key to victory on how to beat Golovkin, but he was just staying in the pocket too much. He was staying in the pocket trying to go, toe-to-toe with Golovkin, and that, you just can't do that. Because like I said, Golovkin, he can be behind on these rounds, but the shots that he land, the more and more he lands these shots, even if it's like 2, 3, or 4, or 5, throughout a round, they do damage and they'll take their toll, and you can see it. Like after, like, I want to say round 5 or 6, you could see like Murata's nose and his mouth, I think it was starting to bleed. And that's where Golovkin, he just started turning it up from 6 through 9 on. It was just like a beatdown from there. You know what I mean? Golovkin just shotgun jabbing it. I mean, he maybe took one round off where Murata started, landing some more good body shots, and Golovkin started going to the back foot one time. But other than that, Golovkin, he would come back. He knew he had the power to hurt Murata. Murata was just standing in front of him a lot of these times. So all he had to do was just stay Golovkin and, just break him down. And that's what he did up to round 9. He just landed that hard right hand as Murata started backing up and dropped him, and, the corner stopped the fight. So I wasn't really, like, impressed, like, the level of opponent. Just the fact that Golovkin faced some adversity for once in his career where he had to back up. Too bad it had to come at the age of 40, right? So it's more like, he just was I won't say he's a shell of himself, but he still had to kind of take a breather in this fight. But then he had to kind of just switch gears and say, okay, I still have my power. Even though I'm older, I might not have the same reflexes. The power stays, right? So I give him a lot of respect in that. So he unifies the belts now. What's next for Golovkin? I guess the Canelo fight, if Canelo gets past Bivol, will it be at 160? I don't know, because Golovkin never really goes anywhere outside of 160. We're talking about Canelo, who's fighting Bivol at 175. And instead of everybody saying, why not fight Beterbiev next for Canelo, they all say, oh, go down and give him Triple G a third fight. I'm like, why? Like, why is he gonna move 15 pounds down just for a Golovkin fight? Somebody, he shared the ring with about 6 years ago, whenever there's like new challenges at the weight he's at, right? So I'd rather see Canelo just stay at 175 after he beats Bivol, if he can beat Bivol, go on and fight Beterbiev. That's the fight I want to see, because like I said, Golovkin, I mean, he might just have a style for Canelo, but I don't know if Canelo can make that 160 weight now. You know, he's talking about cruiserweight, heavyweight, light heavyweight, super middleweight, everything except middleweight, right? So that's not really where I want to see Canelo. If anything, the landscape is interesting in 160 without Canelo. I mean, the WBO belt's held by Andrade, right? Is he still holding that belt? I think he's going up to 168 too, right? But I think he holds the 160 belt. Boo Boo does. And then you have Charlo with the WBC belt. And now you have Golovkin with two of the belts, the WBA and the IBF belt, which those belts, you know, they weren't really won off like the best competition. So if Golovkin really wants to do something big, why don't he just go ahead and unify, you know, get two more fights, Charlo and Andrade, and then call it a day. I'd rather see him go that route than try to take on a Canelo fight at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, he wants a Canelo fight so he can get as much money as he can and retire. So I understand where Golovkin's coming from. I mean, like I said, I was never the biggest Golovkin fan. I mean, he did it his way, so I can't get mad at him. You know, boxing is a very cutthroat sport. So sometimes I have to look at it in the eyes of some of these fighters where they just get in, get as comfortable as they can, fight the competition that they can, to get as much money as they can, and, you know, be as safe as they can, because the promoters aren't looking out for you and the fans aren't looking out for you. You know, the day that you go blind or you go brain dead, the fans aren't there for you. You know, the day that you start losing your fights, you know, you lose your house, the promoter's not really there for you, right? So for Golovkin, you know, he's always kind of just stayed on that up and up, on that flat line at 160. You know, just always held the belts to hold some kind of legitimacy with his career. Had an exciting style, so I can't really get mad at him at that. You know what I mean? Like, I do like his jab. You know, I love the jab. So, you know, Golovkin's jab is impressive. So I gotta say, I still have to respect him in that aspect, because like I said, it's a cutthroat sport. People aren't really looking out for you. So if he wants to get that third Canelo fight and call it a day, why should I be mad, right? Why should I really be mad? I know I'm a fan of the sport, but hey, it's like I said, you know, he's done it his way, right? So let me know, guys, what y'all think. Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. All boxing, everything. I'm out. Peace.